You know, sometimes you just have to sit and visualize. Okay, so on the basis of being as cheap as humanly possible, and granted, we're only going to save $100 by doing this, but you've got $100 for the rack itself, and then shipping and ends and rods and all that shit. My factory steering box does not fit where I want it to, and the splines and the arm, they're all fucked up. I don't really want to mess with it. And I have this Woodward manual steering rack here. If you were to mount it the proper way, this rack is actually meant to be in front of the steering arms, to where the steering arms are up here. I can't do that because I've got these trailing arms in the way. So if I was to mount it back here, if I turned it to the right, the car would try to turn left. However, I can mount it upside down. If I was to mount this upside down, this part would face right. But it would turn the proper direction. If you turn this left, these arms go to the right, pushing the tire out like this, which turns the car to the left. I don't have anything permanent over here for my gas, brake, and clutch. My steering arm is, this bar is just tacked in to where I could cut it, flip it over to the other side. I think we're going to do a right-hand drive. I don't know. Let's give it a shot, though. Let's see what happens. So the first thing that I want to try and do is I want to try and see if I can get these steering arms off and see if I can't make them work with these arms. Or with these rod ends. I should have another one of these aluminum rods sitting around, but I think that this is a different size. Yeah, that's a different size. So I'll have to figure out a way to go from this down to that, because I don't have any more rod ends that are this size that would still fit in that hole. So that'll be something we'll have to figure out. All right, so this is what we have so far for our steering. I've got this one bar here with our brackets on it, and we'll go from here out to here to brace it. And then we've got our rods into our factory Volkswagen rod ends on each side. And we'll weld this sleeve solid here because this is threaded onto there. And then into that. But to save ourselves something like $150, we just made the car right-hand fucking drive. And I'm going to run a bar from there down to meet up with this one here that's gonna go across. I didn't want it to go all the way across if I didn't have to. I might come off with a curve and come into this, but I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with that yet, because I need as much space as I can for the clutch and brake pedals. But I still have my removable steering wheel. The alignment's towed out really bad right now because this side here, but that'll be all right. We can always adjust that out with the with our adjusters down there. We're gonna have a lot of angle on it. The reason it's being sketchy right now is because that side is stuck. So, as we saw in another clip, we do have this thing finished up. The steering is all in there. Everything is welded in solid. Got sleeves on the arms. We've got our rod ends all done up. And let's see, we've got the mount in here. And then we've got it plated on the back side. That's an old, just that plate that I had sitting around. But it comes up here to where the bolts go in, and then it's welded all the way across. It's welded up this tube, and I've got to weld this back here for this down tube. This is a real thin down tube, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna work, so I didn't weld it in completely until now. But you can tell I've been standing on it and jumping on it and stuff. And I need to get a new boot or two. Probably ought to just go ahead and buy two for this rack. But it's a grease-filled rack, so it works out for us. I'm gonna do some more bracing in here for these pieces here to the frame itself to make it a little stronger. But I don't want to add any more weight. That's my biggest thing, is I don't want to add too much more weight to the front. I got the center of the tunnel cut out because I needed room to work to get this plate in. So I went ahead and cut that tunnel out. And I'll get a couple of tubes that run from the lower bar down into the side of that and then back around. I got this braced in here, going down at an angle to down here, and that's plenty strong enough for what it's used for. I wish this wasn't at such a harsh angle, but it had to be to keep my steering arm straight and where I wanted it. But the tires turn. It's got a good amount of angle to it. I can still spin and adjust the rods on either side, so the alignment's not going to be an issue. I need to get into this one here, and I need to get it cleaned up and greased and turning smoothly. It's a little hard to turn because that thing was stuck when I first got this front end. That whole pin was stuck and I couldn't turn it at all. And I finally got it broke loose to where I could turn it a little bit. But so far, we're looking good there. I'm going to be making a trip up to Wyoming today to pick up a new set of seats. They're suspension seats out of a Razor. So we're gonna get rid of these uncomfortable ass buckets. And these are probably gonna sit in a go-kart that I have that I'm starting to build so I can chase Lexi around on her go-kart. Still trying to find a gas tank. I've got this one here out of a golf cart that I might end up trying to use. I could mount it up there. It's like 5 or 6 gallons. Might even be a little more. But I could mount it up to the side of the rail, right in this area here. And then it's got this vacuum powered fuel pump that I am not entirely sure if it would be enough to run off of this or not, but I want to look it up. It doesn't need to be much. It just has to be able to fucking flow. I'm still looking for a set of rear wheels to that I can widen, but I don't care if it's too close to, if it's any far away from here. I want them wider. I just want them to stick out a little bit more. Put a taller tire on it as much as I can anyways. I did go through and kind of clean up the shop. I was debating on whether I wanted to cut some sheet metal out of this hood and use it, but I don't think I'm going to. But there's the update for now.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.